for tuning into the My Positive Perspective Internet show today, where we feature individuals and groups who share the common goal of improving the local Charleston community. Today's episode is dedicated to the memory of the Charleston Nine. With me on today's broadcast is Sonia Beal. So how you doing, Sonia?
I'm great, thank you.
Great. Thanks for joining us and taking the time. Many of y'all may remember on future episodes we had David Griffin on and discussing the Charleston Nine, and he published a book to help other firefighters and other emergency responders on how to better deal with emergencies when they come up. But the firefighters are not necessarily just about fighting fires; they're also about helping the local community, and that's something that y'all's organization takes pride in. Could you maybe talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. Carolina Children's Charity says that firefighters are the heart of the charity. Basically, in 1987, a group of firefighters and a group of volunteers started the charity. And so every year since that time, they have supported us during our annual boot drive and our telethon. And they've also supported us, of course, in many other ways. But you will see the firefighters out on the streets in the next week or so. They'll be starting the annual boot drive, and that money that you will put in those boots will support Carolina Children's Charity.
Great, awesome, and also there's a telethon that's about to take place, and how are those things kind of correspond with each other?
Absolutely. The telethon is going to be broadcast and on the Low Country CW on Sunday, April 13th. The firefighters will be out in the streets, like I said, and they'll be collecting your pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and they will bring those actual collections to the telethon, along with the sponsors that will be bringing checks, and then we'll have interviews from the family. But all of that money that you help to donate and use by you supporting the firefighters, they will bring it into the charity, and that's what allows us to carry out our mission. And of course, our mission is to help children with birth defects and childhood diseases that live in one of our 4 local counties.
And the money goes for them to receive therapies, receive medications, things like that they need because of their birth deficiency or what have you. So it sounds like your organization really serves a great cause, and it's definitely needed more and more these days, isn't it?
Absolutely. The need is great. A lot of the families that we serve have health insurance, but private health insurance or Medicaid doesn't cover a lot of the items and the services that we do. So families apply to the charity for the grant, and then we actually pay the providers directly. We don't actually pay the family. So if they're coming to us for a therapy grant or medication, we'll actually call the pharmacy and approve the medicine. But that would not be possible without the support of our local firefighters, nor our wonderful community. One of the things is if you throw a penny, a nickel, or dime, or quarter, it all adds up. It's so essential to the charity's functioning to have these major fundraisers, and you can make a difference. You may think it's small, we think it's big, because when it all comes together, it turns into $200,000. So.
Sure, and last year the telethon raised over $200,000, I believe. And another thing I wanted to point out is when you go to these events, these fundraisers for these great nonprofits, you can really come away with some really cool artwork, some really cool things, and myself, I got some really good artwork from the last Carolina Children's Charity fundraiser. It was at Water's Edge in Mount Pleasant, and it's such a nice setting we have in Charleston, and it really encourages people to come out and support the charities, and it's just a really good thing we got going on in Charleston.
Absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that because the Water's Edge event is actually part of Telathon.
Okay.
So that fundraiser was our kickoff in February, and that was the third year that we had done that. And they worked really hard over at Water's Edge to support the charity. And we have so many other local businesses: Morris Nissan, Floyd Brace, you name it. The list goes on and on and on of all these wonderful businesses that believe in the charity and that they support us.
Sure.
And then you came out, you had a good time.
Yes,
you ended up with some great silent auction and live auction.
And live auction things, yeah. And I'd also like to quickly thank Rob Fowler and the NBC News station. I was actually watching the news that day, and I was wondering what in the world to do, and I saw Rob Fowler, and he was live at the auction, so I said, that's what I'll do. I'll go out and enjoy my time on Water's Edge, and it ended up being a very, very fun time. Yes, certainly.
Absolutely. WCBD is our media sponsor, and they really come out and they support us. And they'll be out with me beginning of the week filming the firefighters as they collect. And of course, the broadcast will be from WCBD on the 13th of April.
Yes. So let's try to remember to tune into that, and it's going to be a good time, and we're going to be supporting a really great cause. So thank y'all for tuning into the My Positive Perspective Internet Show, and we'll see y'all next time.
On a sunny day, I feel my thoughts drift away. Only good vibes and good times living in my brain. On a sunny day, catch me lamping in the shade, feeling so fine and so high. Oh, my sunny days, still I hope all my efforts will one day pan out. Love within, you'll never be without. So I roll, feeling strong and so invincible.